Oh, yiggity, and we are back. Listen, let's talk about the elephant in the room, man. This is a cautionary tale for black people, right? And the fact that everybody's speaking up, we already assumed what happened. We know what happened. There's other stories coming out about the same things that happened. Them folks don't like being portrayed or looked at in a certain way. Hmm. Is that sort of kind of like what happens to black people? Like we're all looked at it a certain way? This case is interesting. It's bringing out a lot, but we're going to start out with what we know so far. Broski, go ahead, bust it down real quick about what we know so far.
See that there's some people that still have a many of your questions, which I still have a many of your questions as well. But let me show y'all what I ended up finding out last night about Javon Williams and what he had to say about 18-year-old Nolan Wells and the last time that he saw him and around what time it was and who he saw him with. This is what somebody dropped down in my comment section last night on a video that I did about 18-year-old Nolan Wells. And if somebody get in my comments saying, oh, how old is he again? I'll only delete your comment. I'm not going to entertain you. It says Javon Williams told the press that he last saw Nolan Wells for the last time shortly after 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 4th, 2026, while they were on Horn Island. Williams stated that Nolan was last seen talking with a girl. So therefore, I did more digging into this to find out exactly what Javon Williams was saying. So it's being said that 17-year-old Javon Williams is the best friend or said to be the best friend of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Wells headed to Horn Island on Saturday with friends. His best friend, 17-year-old Javon Williams, said he was supposed to be on the same boat, but it filled up. Williams rode out on a different boat, but he saw Wells on the island. He believes he saw Wells for the last time after 4 p.m. Saturday. Now, the way that this part is put, I feel like is very important. It says Wells visited with a girl, Williams said, but also chatted with other friends in the crowd. As soon as we got out there, Williams said, he told me that he loved me. Wells always had Williams' back. If somebody talked bad about Williams, Wells would stick up for his friend. It also says both young men left their phones on the boat that Wells rode out on. Williams later retrieved his phone while Wells' mother found her son's phone through location services, Hand said. Wells was last seen near the western tip of Horn Island where the current is strong. Trace Carter talked to Wells before the island trip. Carter told Wells, just hit me up when you get back. Just be careful, bro. Watch out for yourself. Wells responded, I got you. I'll hit you up later. Remember what Javon Williams said. Javon Williams said that he last seen 18-year-old Nolan Wells around after 4 p.m. and he saw him visiting with a girl as well as chatting with some friends. Could this be the moment that right here where it says Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat wouldn't have left him? Could this be the moment where the friends was trying to get Nolan Wells to get onto the boat, and instead of Nolan Wells getting onto the boat, that he decided to go ahead and stay? And if that's the case, it would also explain how Katie was able to hear Nolan Wells' friends saying to get on the boat. As many of people are saying that there's no cell service on that island, and or it's very rare that you get cell service on that island, so therefore it's unlikely that she heard that over the phone while she was on the phone with Nolan Wells, which means that she would have had to be in the same vicinity as Nolan Wells as well as those friends in order to hear those friends telling Nolan Wells to get on the boat. I also feel like it's very important that they say that Javon Williams said that Nolan Wells visited with a girl and chatted with some friends. To me, visited says that you spent some time. So meaning that the time that Nolan Wells and also Katie spent together, it doesn't sound like it was brief. It sounds like it was brief.
So y'all see the
Oh,
young
hold
man.
on, y'all.
See
Hold
that
on,
there's
y'all.
some people.
I ain't mean to cut his wisdom, but listen here, fam bam. That's not the whole situation is what we talking about. Because what we talking about, I want to put that up there because I want y'all to see that y'all can easily get pushed into some nonsense. What is this dude even talking about? Right? You can easily get pushed into some nonsense. Now check this out, y'all. What we really talking about is this cautionary tale that seems to happen ever so often, and even the kids see what's going on. See, these is parallels y'all ain't even thinking about. Sis had a very good point. Check this out. Did you hear what she said? Say it again. Oh, dang. Hold on. Y'all didn't hear what she said. I ain't had a video. My bad. Hold on. Check it out.
This tragic outcome of Nolan Wells is exactly why Carmelo Anthony did what he felt like he had to do to protect himself. It's exactly why he felt like he had to go to the extreme in self-defense, because the presence of white people is sometimes just dangerous. We never know what the outcome is going to be. The mere presence of y'all is enough to feel like our lives could be in danger. And I'm not comparing these two young black teenage boys for shits and giggles. I'm talking about it because I saw a lot of folks, black folks included, talking about Carmelo Anthony and be like, well, you know, like, he deserves to be punished. He deserves that the justice system against him. He deserves this because he did too much and it wasn't self-defense. But we just don't like the fact that he got this sentencing. And I found that to be a collective gaslighting of black folks in America, of our history, and us knowing what could happen. We have always existed with the reality that no matter what we do, lethal force could be used against us. Just existing could be something that's dangerous for us. And so while we were talking so much about Carmelo Anthony's case and whether or not what he did justified the means in which he got out of that tent with them white boys, we are now collectively grieving alongside a family who's mainly grieving a young black teenage boy. And I think for some of y'all, that's easier because that's the story you're used to. That's the story that comes with, oh, grief and sadness and, oh my gosh, I can't believe that he didn't make it back. How could all his white friends come back with the boat and then leave him out there? But then when we have young black kids who see these stories, understand these stories, we have to process these stories. What does that tell us about who is dangerous to us? Who is dangerous? If we can't even trust y'all to be our friends, imagine the fear that happens when you pressing up against us and showing yourself to be a danger, or showing that you might touch me or that you might try to hurt me. I'm going to use whatever force possible to make it out of that situation alive. Carmelo Anthony and Nolan Wells, two situations that are happening in the same landscape, and unfortunately, because of how y'all act, white supremacists, you can't divorce these situations from each other. So the next time you're wondering why a young black kid or a black teenager or a black adult might respond in a way that you deem really over the top to make sure they make it out alive, ask yourselves why we feel like our lives are always in danger around you. Y'all are so comfortable with black grief. You're used to black grief. That's what you're used to. That's the story that you are accustomed to. Your nervous system is used to black grief. I'm not going to do that. You're not going to see me grieving this. You're going to see me bringing it back to you. And why? If this shit keeps happening, some of your sons might not come back home either.
Real Tizok. Real talk. She broke that down. But hold on. Let's address this, though. Let's go back to some of these stories. Do y'all remember this? Hold up. People be talking about y'all tripping. Y'all. No, don't stop with the gaslighting. Do you remember this?
The body of missing Mississippi teen Nolan Xavier Wells was just found, and then his identity was confirmed by his family. The moment I heard this story, I immediately thought about Tamla Horsford, and then I realized a lot of you don't know who she is. So pull up a chair. Let's chat. November 4th, 2018, in Cumming, Georgia, a quiet, affluent suburban area north of Atlanta, a woman walks into her backyard and finds her friend laying face down under her deck. That friend is Tamla Horsford, a 40-year-old wife, mom, friend, and known to all as the life of the party. And by the time paramedics got there, she was dead. What happened to her in the hours leading up to it and how she actually died is a mystery that is heavily disputed even until this day. You heard me say she passed away in 2018. Now, Tamla had only moved to Georgia a few years before for her husband's work, and she found a friend group in her son's youth football league, the tight-knit group of football moms. Night of November 3rd in 2018, one of those moms, Myers, host a adult birthday sleepover. Supposed to be a good time, meant to be one of those nights where you could drink and not have to worry about driving home. Tamla arrives at about 8:30 p.m. with a bottle of tequila, as she should have. Tam understood the assignment. Along with her bottle of tequila, she had an overnight bag. She goes in the house and she changes into her white pajamas covered in paw print. The night begins and they start drinking. Now, important to note that this was originally supposed to be girls only. Again, I told you this party is supposed to be girls only, but somewhere along the lines, hires the birthday girl, her boyfriend decides to stay, and another girl's husband decides to stay. The group drank, they played Cards Against Humanity, they had a good time, and around 1 a.m., things start winding down. Some people start going to bed, some people begin to leave. In case you haven't asked yourself this already, yes, Tamla is the only Tamla at this party. So the lore goes that Tamla stays up talking to a party goer, and witnesses say that Tamla mentioned she's going upstairs for one last cigarette. Did I mention that Tamla is a smoker and she had been going up to the upstairs deck all night to smoke her cigarettes? This is where it starts to get a little bit more weird. The home security data shows that at 1:40, the door leading to the garage opens but never closes. 17 minutes later, the back door to the deck where Tamla had been smoking all night again opens but never closes. It's now 1:57 a.m. Sometime after that, she ends up face down under the deck after having fallen 14 feet. There are rooms surrounding the deck and no one hears a thing. We've got to do a part 2. The body of missing Mississippi teen Nolan Xavier Wells was just found, and then his identity was confirmed by his family. The moment I heard this story,
that's just one of the popular ones that happened. That's just one of the popular ones. My man say he is Nolan. Like, it almost happened to him. Let's have a talk.
So the same thing that happened to Nolan Wells almost happened to me. I think I was like 22 years old working at Texas Roadhouse. You know what I mean? Young, silly, forgot a couple of the things that my granddaddy told me when I was growing up.
Right.
But at any rate, every year, the employees and managers, they would take this little, resort, and it wasn't really a resort, it was in the country, and they would take a couple of canoes, some ice chest of beer, and you know what I mean, everybody was out there smoking, you know what I mean,
right.
And I'm like, man, that sounds like a good time. Mm-hmm. And mind you, I could swim, been swimming since, I don't know, maybe it was 4 years old when I jumped in the pool for the first time. But at that point in time, I thought these people were my friends. Another lesson my grandparents taught me when I was younger is that you don't have any friends. You know what I mean? You really do not. Like, my siblings were always my friends, and I learned that. At any rate, I signed up to go on this, little trip with these people. And, it was good at first. It was, the water was kind of shallow. You know what I mean? We maybe had 6 or 7 canoes out there, music, people having a good time. And, I'm not really used to that, and I'm not having a good time. But usually when me and my people, my kinfolk get together and play music that loud and was as rambunctious as they were, and because the whole time I'm looking around like, when the police showing up? We smoking weed out loud and everything. So mind you, and after a while I got comfortable into it, you know what I mean? Everybody told me, loosen up, but I'm on edge, you know what I mean? For many reasons.
Yeah.
And so the trip continued, and at one point in time, they let us know, okay, so we're gonna get up on the bank right here, and then we're gonna go see the waterfall. Uh-oh. So I'm like, oh, okay, so but what we gonna do at the waterfall? You know what I mean? Because I'm vibing, but at the same time, I'm not stupid. And they was like, we're just gonna look at the, sit there, light a fire, you know what I mean, smoke some more, drink some more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to the little spot where we pull up the canoes, we anchor them off and whatnot, and then they tell us, okay, so this little piece of water right here, we got to swim across that to get to the waterfall. I hate when people add extras to a plan. You know what I mean? Especially for me, I think into a lot of things and I got a plan. So I'm still cautious, and I'm watching everybody dive in this water, you know what I mean, and swim right across. You know what I mean? And I hadn't jumped in yet because I'm still leery. And I don't know what it was, but it was holding me back. But so I'm the last person. Everybody, come on, let's go. So I jump in, And I get almost halfway through over that water to the other side. And then I realize that I'm swimming rather hard and ain't moving nowhere. Long story short, nobody told me that there was a strong current at this spot and you needed to be prepared. At this point, I'm smoking and drinking. So I couldn't understand. Mind, let's get back to the story. So I get halfway through the water and I realize that, and I'm losing my strength slowly but surely.
Damn.
And at this point in time, I am calling out for help. No music is playing at this time. You know what I mean? None.
Damn.
Yeah, everybody was rambunctious, excited, whatever. But you could clearly hear me out there in the woods. It's still daylight. So I am screaming that I can't make it. Somebody please help me. They turn around, several of them look at me, say, you can do it, come on, let's go. And they continue to walk off. At this point in time, I have already said my prayers and have already decided that I'm going to meet my maker. I scream one more time, I am going to drown, and I went down. I don't know who, can't remember who was and what made them decide to change their mind and come back, but one person jumped in that water, grabbed me, pulled me up onto the bank, and mind you, they didn't do anything else after that and continued on their way. So I said all of this to say that I have Caucasian friends, you know what I mean, and I ain't saying friends, I have Caucasian people that I love and care about, you know what I mean, because that's what God said. But I will be honest with you, it is a lesson that the elders taught us as young black children, the same lesson that I'm sure you're telling all your children now. Do not be the only one. And it really doesn't matter how people feel about that, because the concern is preservation of life.
That's right.
So for some reason, God saw fit to not allow me to lose my life that day. And for some reason, God called Nolan home. So I will say that despite what anybody feels about how you feel about the situation, please have that conversation with your children. And that's all I'm going to say. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells, and to his entire family.
Damn, brother. Damn. That had me on the edge of my damn seat. For real. But no. Oh, y'all think it's a game. I see. Who was that just popped in my comment section? Zeddy Neck. Zeddy Neck. A nigga with neck in his name. Anyway, Zeddy Neck. You think these is random? You think this don't happen? I'm finna show y'all this video of real time. The funny, fake friends that invite a black dude out there and get him in the water to drown him. The YT people that look and stare and don't do nothing, and the YT people that actually reach out and give your boy a hand and save his life. This was a trip. Check this out.
All right, black parents, be careful who y'all allow y'all kids to be friends with. A similar situation to the Nolan situation just happened in Florida. This little boy name is Marquise. He's a black boy.
Check this
He was
out.
hanging with some white friends.
Check it out.
He could not swim. He literally said that he was drowning, and it took another family to come and save him. While his little friends or whoever he was with, they were mocking him. Here's the video right here. Look at this video.
And they think it's funny. Hold on, this is the part that kills me though. The dude on this kayak and his daughters in over there, they like, oh my God. He like, shh. He over there laughing about it.
So you can swim down, wherever you fucking retard. Bro, how am I gonna get you back home? You don't think Mama Marquise is gonna be worried? Yeah, your mom. My mom's name. My dad's your mom is always worried about you. My dad's in prison. I think that's why. When your dad's in prison, we know, we can tell just by looking at you.
Man, why he hanging around friends talking like that? Man. Man. He talking about, and he over there with the self-deprecation. My dad's in prison. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with him? He ain't got no sort of kind of racial self-esteem about himself. I blame the parents, but let's keep going.
Bro, we can't even swim. Bro, just go get a kayak. I'll just wait. Fucking life jacket on, Marquise.
I'll just wait.
Bro, you have a life jacket.
No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna save me.
Bro, yes it does.
Bro, I'll just find a way.
He's like, I'm black. I'm black. That's not gonna save me. So look, that's him right there. They done left him across the river, over somewhere across the river. He can't swim. And they yelling back and forth like it's some type of joke. Come on now.
Yeah, they think I'm about to swim back, but I can't swim.
Bro, you have a life jacket.
I'm gonna die.
Standing right
Hold
now.
on to the
You
back
have to
of the
go
board.
on.
I'm just trying to get over there.
Get over there.
We can get
We
you
taught him
there.
how to swim.
Oh, so I can just like hold on to the back of the board.
And here if you want.
Yeah, I might drown.
You won't drown.
You won't drown. Try to get
You're not gonna drown.
That's good.
I promise you won't drown.
I feel like Cuz only went over there because his wife and daughter wasn't really with that crap. Because of their reaction. Because if they would have thought it was funny, he would have thought it was funny too, and they would have kept rowing and minding their business. But shout out to them for looking out for the boy.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Huh?
You know what's your name?
Oh, my name is Marquise. But everybody calls me Lamar because I go to the Denellen.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. And they think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Like he over there, man, what his parent, man, I don't even like the way he acting. It's making me just feel so uncomfortable. Ew, little dude. Somebody should have just taught him something. Gosh.
Job right now.
Talking about holding this. And it's my first time here.
It's your
First time? Well, welcome.
Yeah.
How'd you get over here?
Yeah, what
They made me
happened?
take that way over there, and they had 2 life jackets on. I'm never coming back with y'all.
Yo, we told you if you were coming, we had a life jacket.
A life jacket. This ain't even for a big kid. This for a little kid.
Oh my god.
Right.
You're welcome.
Man, listen. Man, listen. I don't know what's going on with his raising. I don't know what's going on with his parents, but can we just talk about the elephant in the room, okay? Let's just talk about it.
Nolan Wells situation has really triggered and sparked a question that I have been asking myself for a long time. And at this point, I think it needs to be an open question and an open discussion and dialogue surrounding it. And that question is, as parents, even as an adult,
Right.
a Black adult, as a Black parent, why are you okay with your child, your Black child, being the only Black child in white spaces? And as an adult, why are you okay being the only Black friend in a white friend group? Why? What is it? We all know what it is. We all know what it is.
What is it?
But I want y'all to verbalize it.
Huh.
When are y'all going to wake up when it comes to this topic at hand? What do you think it can't happen to you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this had never happened to us. No one will harm my child.
BS.
They're not racist. They're not against us. I'm not even going to say that these young boys, these white boys are racist, because we don't know what truly happened. However, what we do know happened is that those boys left to go to that Horn Island together, and they should have returned together. As Black kids, as a Black millennial myself, it was always told to us, if you go together, you leave together.
That's right.
Don't even think that you finna cross this threshold and come back in this house and everybody that left with you is not crossing this threshold with you. Because you already know what was going down. You already know what was going to happen. If you thought you was coming home without your sister, your cousin, or whoever left that house with y'all.
Real quick, let me go ahead and address this just fed up 47. Y'all keep up the hate. Not all are like that. Are you feeling some sort of kind of way because you getting judged based off what people in your group do? Huh? Is you feeling some sort of kind of way? Because everybody looking at all y'all like a certain way, because a couple people, because people in y'all group ain't doing right. Huh? Do that feel bad? Do that hurt your feelings? Huh? Shut up, you little puss. That's how we feel all the time. That's how y'all do it all the time. You feeling it? Yeah, y'all keep up the hate. This is hate to you. Because we telling we sharing stories about our experiences with some of y'all, and we looking at all of y'all sideways now. Oh. Oh. You feel bad? Suck it up, Buttercup. Suck it up. Because I got a whole bunch of it. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop her wisdom real quick because she kind of said what she wanted to say. But this story happens everywhere. Meet Nicole Spence. Nicole, tell us about your story, Boo-Boo.
This isn't a movie. This is real life. The body of Nolan Wells has now been found. Who is Nolan Wells? Nolan Wells is an 18-year-old boy from Mississippi who went sailing with his so-called friends, these boys sitting with him on the 4th of July. They went sailing and Nolan was never seen again. His body has now been found. His so-called friends have no idea what happened to him. Interesting. Do you notice anything in this picture? For me, immediately, I noticed that he is the only black boy.
Right.
And this whole story I just feel it all over my body.
Why is that?
Because you see, when I moved to Florida to caretake for my parents, I was teaching Pilates.
Right.
And I was the only black teacher. Okay. I went to the home of the manager who was having a get-together. Again, the only black girl there. And I thought we were all, friends, making friends.
Right.
I thought we were all having a good time. Although while I was there, they talked about my skin color, how dark my skin was.
Yep.
And they talked about how big my butt was. And before I left that house, do you know what happened next? The woman whose home I was in, who had invited me, smacked me across my face.
Damn.
Out of nowhere, she just smacked me across my face. And all of the other women just laughed. They just kept laughing, as if this woman did not just physically assault me.
Right.
When I tell you, I was afraid for my life because this was completely unwarranted. This smack came out of nowhere. What were they going to do to me next? The first thing that occurred to me, I remembered the story of the black woman who went to the sleepover, the only black woman who went to the sleepover and never made it home. And I desperately wanted to make sure that I made it home to my parents. Because in my mind, I'm like, if I would have hit her back, what were they going to do next? Jump me? Was she going to pull out a gun? I mean, I'm in a stand your ground state. What was she going to do? I just had to get out of there. And I just wanted to make it home to my parents. Nolan just wanted to make it home to his parents. We both thought we were safe. Nolan, may your soul rest in peace. May God comfort your family during this time. We need answers.
Straight up.
We need justice for Nolan. This is not okay, and this has to stop.
All right now. Listen, y'all can't tell us about our experiences. Y'all don't like that, how? Y'all don't like that everybody coming out telling what they go through when dealing with them folks, huh? Y'all don't like that. Oh, y'all should stop. Everybody's not like that. You're a race baiter. You guys are victims. You're pathetic. Shut up, you little buster. I got some more of it too. Because it's not a coincidence. Why everybody's saying the same thing? That's what you should be asking yourself.
My heart breaks for the Nolan Wells family. I can't imagine what they may be going through right now. There's a lot of people maybe secretly asking why so many people, so many black people saying, don't let your black kids go on trips with white families or white people. This may be confusing. It may be something that you just don't understand. Well, it's rooted in years of history, of black experiences, generations that go way back where black children were not protected. And it has caused trauma to black people. I have a 28-year-old and he finished his first year in medical school. And
before she go, do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand that because it's historical. Thank you. Thank you. Get Out was a documentary. I fully agree. You are telling all facts. I love that movie, by the way. That's like one of my favorite movies. Man, you had to go to the theater and see that, and that little sound they made when Cuz sunk into the sunken place. Boy, that was the man. Shout out to Jordan Peele, man. That boy, he's a masterpiece and genius. And Us, where we got Tethers from. Us is another phenomenal masterpiece. And Nope. That Nope is a good one too. I don't know if y'all seen Nope, but you gotta check that Nope out. But anyway, I'm just asking y'all, man. Can yeah, of course. This is all somewhat sort of all related. Texas Proud for sure. This is it's all in the same vein. But I'm trying to ask the people that's nutting up in my comments in my chat, why is the story always the same? Why is there so many people that can tell this same story? Why is that? But go ahead, sis.
Went on a trip with his friends, and immediate reaction when he told me he was going to Hawaii, even though he's 28, I was like, who's going? That's the first question black mothers have. Who's going to be there? Yep. Because it matters. Now, I'm not saying that something bad can't happen with black people, right? But history has shown us that oftentimes when black boys, especially, and black girls go on these trips and they're in the minority, they are not protected. I don't know if something foul was done. We don't know that. But what we do know is Nolan is not alive. And this has happened far too many times for it to be okay. And the other thing is that we are saying, don't let your kids go. But the problem with that statement is that Nolan was 18, legally an adult, a baby to me. But, some of our kids are 20, 21, 28, and we can't make decisions for them. And so that's the heartbreaking part. Yep. Because as much as I am a controlling mom, I can't force my son to see the world the same way that I've seen it. And that's not always healthy, right? We want them to have a healthy view of people, but there's just so much trauma behind it. So I'm praying for their family, and just wanted to offer some perspective on this. But as we coach our grown black boys and black girls, that's all we can do. We can coach them. We can't force them to do anything. And it's just so disheartening that we still live in a country where black boys and black girls don't return home from vacation. Yeah. My heart breaks for the Nolan.
Man, come on now. Hold up. I ain't done. If we talk about parallel situations, does anybody remember this? Anybody remember
Hope y'all
this?
are clear with me. Kendrick Johnson
died being rolled up in a mat and nobody knew what happened, right? Tamla Hosford went with some friends and ended up deceased and nobody knew what happened. Nolan Xavier Wells went on a boating trip with some friends and nobody knows what happened. It's amazing and very telling how Black bodies can go missing when they're not the majority in the room.
Right.
And the people who are the majority tend to walk free without any type of consequence.
Come on now.
Like, it's okay to just say, oh, we don't know what happened. And that's it. That's the end of the story. Nobody gets to go to jail for it. There is no justice, nothing. It's just, we don't know what happened. Really? Really? Okay. Historically speaking, we have not been okay when it has been us in singular proximity to majority non-Black spaces because of anti-Blackness and racism. Because people know that if they harm us, the justice system does not always swing our way when it comes to a positive outcome.
Right.
My heart breaks for the family of Nolan Xavier Wells. And I pray that the justice system does what they need to do.
Just like we prayed in the Carmelo case.
But it's Mississippi. It's Mississippi. Black parents, talk to your children. Black families, talk to each other. Black friends, talk to each other about being in these spaces alone. Because we know, historically speaking, it don't always end up safe for us.
We're talking about history.
We may be able to survive the workplace being the only one sometimes, and even that has its ramifications.
I know.
But in groups of friendships and gatherings and different things of that nature, for some reason, we tend to disappear or our bodies end up deceased. And nobody can explain why.
Same story. This is not a new occurrence, y'all. like this been going on. Hell, I even got a couple stories.
But in Grenada,
but Auntie, look, check her out.
Quick story time. I was in Grenada a couple years ago on a girls' trip. I had taken a small group of Black women, over 40. Y'all know that's my travel niche group. I took them to Grenada for Valentine's Day. This was in 2024. And we were staying at a beautiful all-inclusive resort in Grenada. And we came across a group there. Everyone in the group was white. It was a bridal party. Except, as it turned out, the bride-to-be, who was a Black girl, obviously in her 20s. And what struck me is that no one else in the group looked like her. Like not a parent, not a sister, not a cousin. Everybody else in the group, including the groom-to-be and the other ladies and men in the group, were all white people. And me and the ladies, all of us being ladies over 50, looked at each other and we looked at the group and we all gave each other a knowing look. And we observed this group over the days leading up to the wedding, which was going to happen on the premises, and the all-inclusive. And everyone seemed to be happy. She seemed to be happy. But I remember one particular night when everyone was drinking quite a bit. There was a free happy hour, and we were all in the same area, and they were getting a little rambunctious, and they were having a happy hour. Everybody's drinking, the drinks are flowing. And you know how when a certain group starts drinking, the dynamics can change. And I remember looking at that young lady, and she's surrounded by these people. And I said out loud to the ladies in my group, no one in particular, I hope she's safe. And I said, I almost feel like going over there and telling her to blink 3 times if she needs help. And all of us laughed and we went on with our week. And I never really gave it another thought again until I heard the story about Nolan Xavier Wells. And I thought again to myself when I heard that he was missing, I hope he's safe. I saw this picture of him and the friends that he went off with
Right.
on July 4th. And my maternal antenna went up immediately. As a black mother of a son, I thought to myself, I hope he's safe. And then as the story unfolded, we found out that he's not safe. We now know he's gone. And now his parents are going to go through what parents go through when they lose their children and outlive them. It's a type of grief that I hope to never have to know. But as a black parent, it's a type of grief we all somewhere deep down have to prepare ourselves for from the time our children are born, especially if they're born in the United States of America. And you are the parent of a black son, every moment they are not in your presence, you hope that they are safe. And you hope that they're with people who will protect them. I have had to have conversations with my son, and he's a grown-ass man now. But ever since he was a very young child, I believe the first conversation we had was when he was probably about 8 or 9. And he wanted to go on a sleepover. And I had to explain to him why he could not go on the sleepover. But I invited him to have his friend and his other friends sleep over at our house instead,
Right.
which is how it ended up being.
That's how I
And
do
that
it.
became a habit in our household. He could have his friends over anytime he wanted to, long-term notice or short notice. They could come stay at our house. I'd order pizza or whatever snacks they wanted. I set up the video games. They would do all the boys' things in his room or in the family room, and I would leave them alone and let them be boys. But he couldn't sleep at anybody and everybody's house because I needed to make sure that he would be safe.
I got girls, and that is the rule for me. I do not let them go to nobody's house unless I know their parents like that. My daughter got like one friend. I chopped it up with her parents so much. I'm cool. They cool. They cool. They cool. Other than that, I'm not having it.
And we had a lot of hard conversations over the years about friendships, about choices, and about how to vet your friends, no matter what color their skin was, to ensure that you would be safe. How to determine whether someone could be trusted and whether they were safe for you to be around. And I'd like to believe that Nolan's parents had those same conversations with him as well.
That's where we gonna have to get into it, y'all. It's the toughness. Now. I looked at the parents. I'm thinking maybe the dad looked a little African and the mom looked a little Korean or something. And I don't think they had that. I don't think they had that conversation. No. You can almost kind of tell by his friend selection. I don't think they really had that conversation. And I'm not the only one that don't think that they had that conversation. I might not agree with Shorty on a lot sometime. We go back and forth. But when she right though. That's what I'm saying.
When will black people recognize that your child is not white? So I posted a video about this individual, and I did not speak how I normally speak because I'm just tired of the whole conversation. I'm not finna keep speaking up for young black men who don't even date young black girls. I'm not finna keep speaking up for people, for black women or women in general who have black children and you don't raise them to be black and they think that they're white. Disrespectfully. Disrespectfully. We cannot keep supporting people who allow their children to think that they're equal to white people.
Thanks for the joke,
Literally,
mama.
y'all, the day that this story came out, I was on my way to take my son to the camp and something in my spirit say, Tatiana, don't you fucking do it. I turned my black ass around. My son's not going. Listen, I'm not finna play with y'all. 5 hours later, I seen this story. Our children are not going to be able to have the same experiences as white kids. If it's an all-white camp, my kid's not going. We can't keep putting our children in predicaments where they could be harmed. We can't keep doing that. You're sacrificing your children as black people. Why would me, a full-blown black woman, keep speaking up for young black men who don't even engage with their community correctly? You should be dating black young girls. If you're a black young man, you date young black girls. If you don't do that, you're a white supremacist to me. Why?
She going a little too far, but let me just hear her out. She that's why I said, that's why I gave y'all that caveat before I got in here. She on some other stuff with that, but the parent, let me see where she going.
Are you dating a young white girl for? Why is your whole friend group white? I don't care. You need to have black in there somewhere, and if you don't, that means you hate your people.
Okay.
Like on some real shit.
Okay.
Where's the mama talking? Where's the daddy? How am I gonna speak up more than the family? Carmelo Anthony, girlfriend was Mexican. That nigga had shit black around him. What are y'all saying? A lot of black people are sacrificing their children because y'all want them to have a white experience, and they're never gonna have that. They're black. Them white kids are gonna try to take their life. Literally. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand that your kids will never be equal. No matter the education, no matter the college. HBCUs was created by the slave masters' wives. They were dedicated to the slave masters' wives. Nothing in America is truly comes from... Listen, man. If your father, son, cousin, uncle does not date black women and they die, I'm not speaking up for them no more. And I mean that. I ain't got shit to do with that.
See, I hate when they mix. Listen, we're not on your dating crusade thing. She on something else with that. But she on point with that though. I ain't heard the parents speaking up like, what's up? I heard the parents, they talking about, let the investigation play out. Let not jump to conclusions. And do. Nah, I'm jumping to every conclusion that there is. Stop playing. Now, I don't know what she's talking about with the dating thing. She kind of, you kind of went off course with that. I don't care about who you date. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... But there's some truth into that too, though. Following up around them white girls to get you in that situation. You gotta can we keep it 1,000? Did he not get on the boat with the intent to go into the island where he knew all the fine white girls was gonna be? Did he think it was gonna be some black girls out there? These are questions. No, and we ain't got no time. No, we ain't doing no gender warring. That's what I don't like about what she said. Like I told y'all before, we don't get into that. Brothers and sisters need each other. We need each other. We don't got time for that. Right? but some of said actions do lead you into harmful situations. Trying to follow up after the Baxters. I'm just saying. Cuz was following up and kind of gotten them. Hey, little sitcho. But hold on, mommy dearest, she got something to say. Said you shouldn't be the only black body. It's not safe.
They found him dead. I saw this story last night and I was praying that, maybe he had just got lost on the island somewhere. Maybe he had a little bit too much to drink or something like that. Condolences to his grandparents, his mother, his father, any of his friends, his family members, teammates. I want to be very clear about what I'm about to say. I just want this to be a PSA for any younger black person. We can't even say younger because there's a mom of 4 and she was 40 and she found herself in a similar situation not too long ago. If you're a black person, it is not safe for us to be the only one. It is not safe to be a token. Lots of people who have mastered the art of smiling in your face, pretending like they like you, that they're okay with you, when they have nefarious and evil intentions deep inside of their hearts. And there's such a huge list of black people who've woken up dead after being the only black person with a group of white people. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that all white people are evil. I'm not saying all white people want to hurt us. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is more often than not, black people have miscalculated the closeness of their relationship with, say, groups of white people. Black people felt too comfortable being the only black person and they have ended up dead.
Thanks for the jewels.
And if you're in your early 20s or you're a teenager and you're listening to me, I'm going to tell you something that my parents told me. And I'm saying this with love and I'm saying this with concern. they will always choose each other over you. It does not matter about what is moral. It does not matter what is right or what is wrong. It doesn't matter how cool you think you are with them. It doesn't matter how much you love them. It doesn't matter how much you think that they're different than the other ones. They will always choose one another over you. And very rarely where you see an instance where one of them will stand up for you or protect you. So you have to protect yourself. And your life is too valuable and it's too risky to give the benefit of the doubt to say that one of them is different than the others. Again, I'm not saying all of them are this way. Right. I am saying it is too dangerous and too risky for you to be trying to figure out or to test and see where you really stand. Yeah. Because more often than not, you will end up 6 feet under. The multiple young black people who find themselves dead, and not just in Mississippi, in multiple southern states, and the police and the coroner and the judges, everyone knows what's going on. They lied about what he had on. They lied about the last time he was seen. They lied about who he went off, onto Horn Island with. And let me also state that there's information that is coming forward that one of the young men that Nolan was last seen with, his mother is a judge. And every community has its problems. Every community has its shortcomings. But ultimately, we don't see stories. Frequently, we don't see stories where the roles are in reverse. And what I mean by that is the only white person can hang out with a group of black people and they go home alive. They go home just fine.
That has never, ever happened, guys. If it happened, we would have covered the story here on Keep It P podcast. Shout out to Dyfall. He said them parents would have known if they was watching Keep It P. Now, I'm trying to tell you. But listen, when has the roles ever been reversed, though? I'd be selecting these videos for a certain purpose, man, because they lead into the questions. When has there ever been the white dude that went to the all-black function and didn't make it home? If anything, he went to the all-black function, did halfway somewhat sort of a dance. They hoisted him up on their shoulders and then poured kegs in his mouth. It didn't turn out that way. Why is it like that when y'all come through, y'all can do half a percolator and everybody is falling. Oh, he got show. He can groove. You want your plate to the barbecue? Barbecue plates, invitations, everything get passed out. Y'all come around us. We go around y'all. Curtains. Hold up, you got... He said, I have one for real. The Rodney King riots. And yes, I lived there for it. That was a riot to injustice, fool. That wasn't nobody going to kick it at nobody's house, coming up dead. Shut up. See, that's why I let them talk in the comment section, y'all. Because people like him say stupid stuff like that. Stupid stuff like that get said. God. I was there, it's the Rodney King. That's dumb. That was a stupid even equivalency. Dumb. Look, if you're friends, you don't do this. Here's Nolan's friends. I want y'all to remember this. This is Nolan's friends.
Nolan Wells' friends that didn't remember anything, but they remembered to deactivate every single social media account that...
Huh? What? You found my channel about 2 weeks ago, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. The lady. What's that? Cheyenne, the lady. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you. Yeah, y'all get them likes up because I'm over here working here. This is what I'm talking about, though, friends. Make sure y'all subscribe to it. A lot of y'all be watching and don't be subscribing. She did. And shout out to the members. Yo, shout out to the members on the Just Looking Outside of the Game. If you know, I appreciate y'all. This what your friends do? This is the question.
These are Nolan Wells' friends that didn't remember anything, but they remembered to deactivate every single social media account that they have.
Damn.
Them, his girlfriend, their parents, all the accounts deactivated and wiped clean.
Damn.
All of them. Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, Morgan, jail. Jail for everyone. Accounts deactivated and wiped clean.
Who?
All of them.
Who?
Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, Morgan, jail. Jail for everyone.
Come on now.
Because you know, they're already circling the wagons. They're already lawyered up. But wait, their parents are doctors, lawyers, and judges. This is the father of one of his friends. And this is the stepmama, Ashley Cole. Court judge for Jackson, George, and Greene counties in the beautiful state of Mississippi has already deactivated her account. Deactivated all the accounts, and they have all unfollowed Nolan. And this is Katie, who is either a friend, close friend, or girlfriend, who is supposedly, allegedly cooperating with authorities because all the other friends are lawyered up and circling the wagons and not helpful and not talking. The doctors and the lawyers and the judges' parents of these 5 have said that they would like privacy, please, at this time. But you know what? Name them publicly. No privacy and no peace for Eli, also known as Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, and Morgan. What happened to Nolan? What did you do to Nolan? His phone came back safe, but he didn't? Why were y'all arguing just minutes before he was reported missing? And y'all were continuing to party late into the evening. Other boats that were docked and parked next to yours saw y'all. But Nolan was missing. We're gonna find out. The truth shall come to light.
Come on now. Why it even, this is what I'm saying. Why it even gotta be this? Why couldn't young Nolan have went and kicked it and came on back to the crib? Why is it got to be a cautionary tale every time? Every time. And you know, hold up, y'all. Y'all know, you know I bought y'all. Listen to your boy right here. This is how they feeling right now. This is how they feel. I think it's sick that you guys, look, they think it's sick that we looking at them with the side eye. Listen to your boy real quick. Listen to him.
Hey there. Before I get into this, I just want to make sure I throw some prayers to the family of Nolan Wells, the young man from Mississippi who lost his life this weekend.
Even I didn't even like that. You gonna throw some prayers like they dogs? You gotta throw the prayers on the ground? That's what you're doing? You could have kept that. I like to throw some prayers. And then why couldn't you say I like to give my, why couldn't say it regularly? Why you try to black send it up? Yeah, let me throw some prayers. It's totally disrespectful, bro. I'm keeping the pressure on him. I'm a cook, and I'm a cook. FBI, FIB, you just found my channel. I appreciate you. And I'm going to keep smashing on their neck bones. But this guy, did y'all hear what he just said? I want to throw some prayers.
Hey there. Before I get into this, I just want to make sure I throw some prayers to the family of Nolan Wells.
We don't want you throwing prayers, bro. Throw your prayers somewhere else. But listen to him, though, y'all. Listen to this.
The young man from Mississippi who lost his life this weekend. I have said before, I can't even imagine dealing with the grief of losing a child. It's got to be the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yep.
Now, if you're under a rock somewhere and you don't know, 4 teenagers went out on a boat this weekend to have some fun for the 4th of July, and one of them, Nolan Wells, did not make it back.
No. 3 teenagers went out with the intent to do something foul to the one black teenager that they bought. Go on.
He was missing for a day, and they found him, unfortunately, to be deceased. And they are currently performing autopsy and trying to discover the cause of death. Now, in any normal society, all of us would be uniting right now and sending prayers to the family and everyone involved.
In normal society, you talking about the one where we just don't act like we know what's going on and just forget about it? Go on.
And focusing on the death of a young man. But, as we know...
You know when you say but, that negates everything that you said before that. I just want y'all to know that when you listening to people and they be talking and they say all that BS in the front, soon as the word but come in, all that out the window. Here go the real shit.
Death of a young man. But, as we know...
And notice he said the but, strong but, because he couldn't wait to get to this part. But, face ass. Y'all hear that though? I just want y'all to know about these conversations when you be hearing them now. You know? He said, hold on, what'd you say? Yeah, they're the direct descendants of Satan. I'll be calling them devils over there on my Facebook, man. You gotta go over there to my Facebook. And I'm turning them all to devils. J Lava on Facebook, JAYLAVA, Keep It P Podcast on Facebook. You can DM me and all that, chat with me in the post and all that. Go on over there, because when I'm not here stepping on necks, I'm over there giving them the blues. But here go everything after but, y'all.
But, as we know, I'm asked constantly why all my videos become about race. Well, it's because certain members of the left and certain members in the black community,
which is basically the same thing, because he's basically saying N-word lovers and black people when he say the left and black people, basically the same thing. But go on. Go on.
Members of the left and certain members in the black community immediately go to making everything about race. So,
really? Is that what we go to? They be so predictable, man. You guys, man. Because what he don't really mean y'all making about race. What he really mean is y'all looking at white people a certain type of way and I don't like that. Why you looking at white people do that like that? Oh, white people ain't like that.
Essentially, it has to be discussed. Now, this one, apparently, the theory coming out is that the three white gentlemen that were friends with Nolan somehow planned to take him out and kill him.
It ain't no theory, Jack. Okay, buddy? History tells us that that's what happens. So are you trying to say that the white people killed? Who else killed him? Tyrell Willis? Somebody with a white name, with a white person with a black name? Tyrell. What, I'm supposed to think you black because your name's Tyrell? You're probably not even black, Tyrell. You're not.
Because of his skin color.
That's exactly what happened, bro. You know what happened. Everybody ain't just jumping to conclusions for no reason. We know what happened.
Somehow planned to take him out and kill him because of his skin color.
That's what happened.
Despite being friends for who knows how long.
That don't matter. We just seen the video. I'm pretty sure them dudes that brought Cuz to the lake was his friends for a long time too, and they still left him to drown. But go on.
Showing countless pictures of them all hanging out with their arms around each other, showing camaraderie and making it very clear that they were friends.
That's how they get you in, bro. That's how they get you in. They gotta make you feel comfortable to get you in the ambush spot. You know how it go. So now you finna tell us that we don't know what we know and we just tripping and wait for the investigation to come out. Go on.
I think it's disgusting that we go there.
Really?
Now, I'm not going to talk about what happened because I don't know.
Then shut up.
And when it comes out, if I feel I want to make a video on it, I will. But unfortunately, everybody already knows what happened. And they go right to the absolute worst possible thing that it could be.
Do you know what happened? What tell us what happened then, since we went to the worst thing that it could be. And basically what he's saying by that, y'all went to not looking at white people the right way. Y'all looking at all white people like we're like them and we're not like them. Does that seem familiar? Because y'all do it all the time. Chat. Over there in the chat. Y'all like that we calling y'all out. Deal with it. Cope.
So I'm not going to go too much deeper, but I am going to say this. If you take a situation like this and the first thing you do is think that 3 white teenagers killed their black friend,
then you're smart. Then you learn pattern recognition. That you ain't boo-boo the fool. You know how black people be like, who boo-boo the fool? If you don't think that, you boo-boo the fool. Come on now.
their black friend, because of his skin color, think that 3 white teenagers killed their black friend because of his skin color.
What other reason would there be, Chuck? What other reason you got there, buddy? Huh?
You need to do better. And you need to reevaluate a lot. I hope everyone has a blessed day.
So we need to reevaluate a lot, and we got to do better because we assume the obvious? Wow. The light on the gas is high here. Is that what you call supreme gaslightation? Like, what is that? You guys, man, you guys suck, man. If you think the 3 white teens killed the black boy, you guys, man, you need to reevaluate things, man. You guys, man. Come on, Chuck. Little Chucky. Straight up. Fam. Listen, man, you know what life is, y'all? Life is that sometimes y'all gonna have to deal with stuff black people deal with. Yeah, I know. Damn. Oh, ow, ow. I know that hurt, right? I know there's a pain associated with that. But sometimes y'all ain't gonna, it just ain't gonna be one-sided the whole time. Y'all gonna have to deal with some of the stuff that black people deal with at some point. And this just happens to be one of them. Y'all got to deal with the stigma from the history of the actions of your people when there's one of us and all of y'all. Y'all got to hold that L. You got to hold it. You got to hold it, big guy. Come on now. Take your L up and hold it. Hold it close. And y'all can't stop us from doing that. I don't know why y'all think y'all can stop us from feeling how we feel, expressing what we express, showing examples like we show. I ain't even done. They're everywhere. They're everywhere around the internet. From young to old, intelligent, however you want to say it.
Xavier Wells, a teenager whose body was found today, went missing over the weekend. African-American student who went on a boating trip with his 3 friends who looked to be white kids. He went missing this weekend, and today they found his body in the water, apparently. Now, the internet is all abuzz about, like, several things. Big topic is why is this black boy alone with these white kids on this boat? Number one, why were no other black kids on there? That's a huge topic of conversation. Yep. The second thing is like, when did they report him missing? Why were they partying on the boat after he was missing? Act like they don't really care. Why are they saying things like, we're not sure if he made it back to the island or maybe he got left? Like, did they leave him behind? Now they're saying they're asking for they have lawyers now, and they're claiming that's some sort of evidence of, consciousness of guilt or whatever. I don't agree with that. I'm a criminal defense lawyer, and I always say, do not talk to the police without your lawyer. So I'm not going to hold that against him, but it is interesting to say that it's unknown whether or not he made it back on the boat or not. Right. That to me is weird. It's also weird that his phone was on the boat, but he was not. Now, there are conspiracy theorists abound are saying, oh, one of the kids' mom is a judge and, they're not going to do a full investigation. And apparently local law enforcement said something like, we don't think it's foul play. Well, what? You just found his body a couple hours ago. Why do you not think it's foul play? I mean, you should say it's undetermined at this point, right? Until the autopsy, at least. But the larger conversation about, black folks can be really cautious when it comes to how they move, Like, black folks always talk about in scary movies, like, a black person would never do that. They would never go after someone. They would never go into the woods alone. We're cautious people. I mean, bad shit has happened to us over the years. So I think we're very, very cautious, probably more so than non-black folks. I'm always amazed at the people who put their drunk friend in an Uber and send them off. Like, y'all don't gonna go with her? Like you don't cover your friend's drink. Like, what? I have a healthy fear and anxiety about other humans. So, probably a job hazard. But I couldn't imagine some kid going missing off a boat that I was on. You know what I'm saying? It would be, I feel like I would notice the only black person on the boat is missing. Like, how do you miss him? You know what I mean? Right. Not saying nothing nefarious had happened. However, it's just like, be careful of who you travel with. And I'll tell you a quick story. About my first time in Europe. I went to Spain and with a friend who I worked with, who I thought I knew very well. I knew her a couple years. Had traveled with her before. Nothing happened. But on this particular occasion, we were at a bar. Now, this was in 20 years ago. So there was your phones didn't really work, internationally, unless you did something to set it up. I was very, very new to international travel back then. And I didn't have a phone that was connected. Right. And she had the only map, because you didn't have an app back then. There were no apps, right? She didn't have a phone. She didn't have and she spoke Spanish. I didn't speak Spanish, right? She majored in it. So I was relying upon her heavily. And she was older than me. And she had been to Spain before. So I was kind of tagging along. A younger friend tagging along. First, she invites people to our hotel who I had never knew they were coming. Why would you? Who's knocking at the door? Right. Right? But it's fine. We had met these guys on an island in the Caribbean somewhere months before. But so they're fine. Then we go to a bar, and I tell her, I'm like, this new guy that's with them is a little bit of an octopus. He has his hands all over me. Right. So I told that to her. So I try to ignore him, push him away, go over here, go over there, avoid him. I'm hanging out, and luckily I'm like, where did she go? And I asked the guys, ¿Dónde está? My poor Spanish, and they're like, they left. Who left? So she then leaves me. She leaves me. She goes away. Don't know where they left. Went to. Don't know how to get back to the hotel. Don't have a map. Can't speak the language. So I'm left with the octopus and his friends to trust them to get me back to my hotel. They said they'll walk me. Middle of the night. First night in a foreign country. And literally I'm on my own. Okay. So I go to the hotel. Luckily they were gentlemen. They were nice. They didn't do anything wrong. Got to the hotel, she in there with a boy. And we had 2 more weeks left of our vacation. I didn't say a word. I just went to the bathroom, washed my face, put on my pajamas, got in the bed, and didn't say a word. And the next day, I told myself, I'm going to enjoy my Spanish vacation, but I will never talk to you again. I will never talk to you again. If you leave me in a foreign country in a club with men I don't know, without even so much as tell me, I'll never talk to you again. I'm not safe with you.
She was trying to get you set up, shorty.
My black homegirls, I'm not saying it's a white woman thing, but I am saying my black homegirls would never, have never, in my 50 years, I'll be 50 years old in a few months, have never left me anywhere. And I've been all over this world. Never. 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 Be careful of the person you're traveling with. And I'm sitting here stressed out because my boy is in Portugal. Y'all just gotta be there, judge the character. You know, I teach my kids a healthy skepticism of people. You know what I mean? My daughter once told me, Mommy, you live in a world where everyone wants to hurt you. I said, until proven otherwise.
Exactly. Exactly. Until proven otherwise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I know it doesn't feel good to you guys, little white tea people. I know it doesn't feel good that we look at y'all a certain way, but we do, and we been. And if we don't, then we die. And that's just the reality. I know that doesn't feel good.
I'm sure, like so many others, I can't get Nolan Xavier Wells out of my thoughts, and certainly his family, who is processing what can only be unimaginable grief. I've been sparingly taking in content because it's so heavy. And one content creator, Gina with a J, whom I love, posed this question: as a Black woman, what's it like to be one of the only Black people in a friend group? And as a transracially adopted person who was raised in a white family in a majority white community, I can share a little bit of that. It's emotionally activating. It is really, especially when it's not your choice, when you don't have a choice, these are the people that you're around. It's one of those things where you're like, I gotta make the best of the situation. And yes, I made friends. Yes, I had good experiences. But underneath it all was a hypervigilance and an emotional activation that never shut off. I could never turn that off. I was always looking to make sure that I was going to be safe. I was always trying to figure out how to belong. But for what adoptive parents who've adopted Black and brown kids and you are raising them in majority white environments, you have to be meticulous about their physical, emotional, and psychological safety. This is the highest stakes it's ever been. And no longer am I going to be able to put up with in spaces that I curate of parents being like, oh, you're making too big of a deal, April.
Mandy, you're triggered.
Get to work. Make sure you have people around you and your family, Black and brown people, that can educate the child entrusted to you in a way that you can as a white person. Just get to work. Oh, and by the way, I have a camp called Together on the Journey where we talk about all this. White adoptive parents, raising Black and brown children. It's a whole family. They come. We're doing it at the end of...
Which I think should not exist. There just shouldn't be. Luckily, hopefully she came. She seemed like she was all right. But I do not agree with white people adopting Black children at all. Period, point blank. I don't. And I don't care how you feel about it. I don't really rock with Ahmadiyya Shakur. I'm going to say that. But when you're right, you're right. And the message is the message.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadiyya Shakur. A young man who went missing, 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells, has been found deceased, sadly. Let's get into it. Nolan's body was found at about 8:45 a.m. this morning.
Okay, we know that.
Now, his best friend, 17-year-old Javon Williams, says they were supposed to be on the same boat, but the boat filled up, and so Williams took another boat. Now, he claims that he saw Nolan on the island, and the last time he remembered seeing him was about 4 p.m. on Saturday. He claims that Nolan visited some girl and that he also chatted with other friends. Okay, please pay attention. What I find interesting is that he says he visited with some girl, but didn't say the girl's name, or where Nolan knew her from, or why she was there, or who she was even there with. And I find that all very interesting because this is supposed to be his best friend. Also, I think it's interesting that Nolan didn't have his phone. Now, reports say that both young men left their phones on the boat that Nolan rode out on. Okay, but I thought they were on different boats, so how would Williams's phone be on the same boat as Nolan's? Okay, anyway, I just find it interesting. But also, the mother, supposedly someone brought the phone to her. Okay, so like I said, young people always have their phones with them. For them to go somewhere and just leave the phone on a boat, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I quite frankly don't believe it. Okay, please pay attention. How come the friends are being so closed mouth? They're not really giving any details, not really saying much of what happened. Okay, and the fact that they knew he was missing and they just left and went on about their merry way and went home, didn't stay to try to help look or, be engaged in the search efforts or anything. I find that very interesting. Okay, please pay attention. I really feel that parents of children who look like me should absolutely be telling their teenagers, their young people, about going off with people who don't look like them all by themselves and being the lone one. I mean, I know that we've heard so many of these stories. It just seems that at some point we just have to wake up and realize that you could absolutely be putting yourself in danger. Okay, please pay attention. I mean, let's not forget about 14-year-old Jason Smith, who went out with friends who didn't look like him, okay, back in 2011, and then he turned up dead in a lake. Okay, organs missing. His father said that he had been R-worded as well as some other things done, and also he had been beaten. Okay, but no one seems to know what happened to him and why he was in that lake. His father said he would never have gotten in there on his own because he can't swim. Okay, please pay attention.
Another story? I didn't even know about that one. Dang.
Then we can't forget about Kendrick Johnson down there in Valdosta, okay, where he was found rolled up in a mat, and the last two people that saw him alive were people who didn't look like him, and their father is an FBI agent. Also, Jason Smith, one of the 8 people that were last seen with him, well, one of their fathers is also an FBI agent, which I find very interesting, don't you? And then there was the incident with Tamla Horsford in 2018, who went to a home of some football moms to spend the night, okay, and turned up deceased in their backyard the next morning. And nobody knew what happened, saying that maybe she was a little tipsy and fell over the balcony, which was only about 5 feet tall. Okay, please pay attention. Then there was the Jamaican immigrant, Peter Bernardo Spencer, who was 29 years old when he went on a cabin trip with some of his friends who didn't look like him. And then he turned up deceased. They filled him full of lead, okay, 9 times. Okay, 9 times they injected him with lead. Now, they claimed that he was acting hysterical and that he put them in imminent danger, and so they had to do it. But if you ask me, it sounds like that movie with Ice-T from back in the day, Surviving the Game. Okay, was he out there to be hunted? Okay, please pay attention. And let's not forget about Bakari Henderson, who took a trip to Greece with 9 of his friends who didn't look like him. But when he got to Greece, he was beaten by the Serbs. Okay,
I did that story. I remember that one. They
literally beat him until he was no longer here. And none of his friends who went on that trip with him bothered to lift a finger to help. Okay, please pay attention. And also, just a couple of years ago on this app, there was a family trying to find their 13-year-old daughter, okay, who went on a trip with people who didn't look like her, with her friend's family, and she had just spoken to her father like 20 minutes before. The police then came knocking on their door saying that the family was saying they couldn't find her, that she must have fallen in the water and didn't have on a life jacket. Do you all remember that story? Because I clearly do. Okay, please pay attention. And then just a few weeks ago, there was a teenager about 14 or 15 years old who was with a family who didn't look like him, and they left him in a lake. Okay, they left him in a lake, were making monkey noises and taunting him, knowing that he can't swim. He had on a life jacket, but it was too small for him. And then luckily there was another family who didn't look like him who ended up giving him a lift, okay, who ended up helping him. But they left him out there knowing that he could swim. And what do you think that was all about? Okay, please pay attention. I'm just going to say, at the end of the day, sugar and salt look just alike. And by the time you realize that you've gotten the wrong one, it's usually too late. Okay, people really need to start being a lot more cautious, especially in this climate with all of the things that are going on that are causing racial tensions. People that look like me being found as strange fruit, okay, hanging from trees, and then for the narrative to be put out that they did these things to themselves. You all know that these people didn't do these things to themselves, okay? The people who look like me, you absolutely know that there's no one who looks like me that would ever do that to themselves. Not from a tree. We all know that, okay? So it's time for us to wise up and make sure that you're talking to your children and being extra careful, okay, whether they think you're being strict or not. Sometimes it's best to just hurt their feelings and tell them, no, you're not going, flat out, period. Okay, you could be saving their lives. Okay, please pay attention.
I believe in that. You can't go. I'm sorry. Nope. It's not happening. And that's the message across the board. We need to wake up.
Now, they had said they went out there by boat, right? Everybody came back except this young man. So you mean to tell me nobody knew what happened to him? Y'all supposed to be locked in twin. I don't go nowhere without my brothers. If I'm, you know what I'm saying, if we locked in, I move, we move. If I leave, we all leave. And I'll wait for y'all, or we can leave now. And I want y'all to know it's calculated. These things are calculated. First and foremost, they assume all of us can't swim. They're going to be mad as hell they try some shit like this on me, because I'm telling you right now, I can swim like a fish. I can hit backboards off the diving board. So they're going to be mad as hell they try this on me. Secondly, this was premeditated. You don't just isolate someone and then take them out on a boat and then, you know, the only way there is boat back and, you know, boat. First of all, I'm not personally going anywhere with pretty much anybody unless I know I rock with them on a one-way passage, one way there and one way back. I gotta have an exit plan. But, like, when are we going to really wake up and realize this? Like, because it's bogus. I know for a fact that they unalived that young man. If you my color, you know for a fact that they unalived that young man. We already know that. We went on trips with each other, and we all came back together. We done flew back separate flights, but we all came back together. You understand what I'm saying? So we already know. People that look like us already know that they did it. So I want to know, what do we do now? Because, like, we know they did shit. We know, like, you know, like, come on, bro. They went to an island, bro. Come on, man. We gotta wake the fuck up, bro. We gotta wake the fuck up, bro. Like, I can't, like, it's not.
Okay, I trying to do no cursing. I get you, brother. I understand where you're coming from, sir. But sis said something that I thought was real nice too.
I'm not buying the "we thought he caught another ride" BS. I'm not doing it. He came with y'all, he should have left with y'all. Y'all also had his phone too, so make that make sense. Of course, here comes people saying, oh, it's not about race. No, but it is. Why is it the fact that the one black teen that went out with a whole bunch of white boys is the only one to show up deceased? Y'all not gonna like this one, but being the only black person in a group full of white people or whatever the race is not always the smartest or safest choice. For these white friends of his to say that they don't know what happened to him and they can't remember is a little off-putting. They were not looking out for their so-called friend, and it shows. Hence why I'm not believing anything that they're saying. I'm not buying anything that they're selling. Noah should have been able to go home safely, just like his friends got to go home safely. Prayers out to Noah's family. I hope they get all the answers that they need, because Lord knows in these type of scenarios, they don't always get the answers. These type of cases always just get brushed over. I'm not buying the "we thought he caught another ride" BS. I'm not doing it. He came with y'all, he should have left with y'all.
Period. Straight like that. There's nothing else. I don't understand. Come on, man. Everybody's saying the same thing now.
Talk about this situation. This, Nolan Wells, I want to talk about this. And I'm going to need y'all not to go nowhere, okay? Just listen. This brother, he was set up. They know what happened. They know exactly what happened. And I'm going to tell you why, right? I went to a school, and I'm pretty sure anybody that know me know I'm not lying. The school I went to was probably 70% white. 70%. Now, we had a few black people that went there. It was probably like the whole school. It was maybe like 30 black people went to the school.
Right.
But the rest, it was white and Hispanics, right?
Okay.
Now, I can tell you this. The YT, whatever you want to say on TikTok, those dudes that was your homeboys, oh, they was your homeboys, your like brothers. Those dudes would go to war about me and about our other homeboys. If they would have left that island, they wasn't leaving unless we were with them. They wasn't going nowhere. I'm telling you. One thing about this, you know I'm not lying. Anybody that's a white dude that grew up around other black dudes, when y'all called each other brothers, we was brothers. We weren't going nowhere without the other ones. Let's make that clear. The other thing, the one friend brings the cell phone home. How many of you have teens as kids? Not one of my teenagers would have ever left anywhere without their cell phone.
Period.
Anywhere.
Nope.
They go to the bathroom, cell phone in hand. They go outside, cell phone in hand. Anywhere they go,
I'm like that.
cell phone in hand.
Straight up.
And you can tell me that this dude brung his cell phone and don't know what happened to him? Y'all get out of here.
You can't pull the wool over the eyes, man. You can't. Everybody's saying the same thing.
As a mom of a black son, let me just say that I'm completely heartbroken and livid over the finding of Nolan Wells' body today. This country is so disgusting. I mean, this has happened over and over and over again, and there's never any consequences for the actions of these evil white people out here. Those white boys know exactly what they did to Nolan. I already had a gut feeling that they killed that boy, but it hits different actually hearing it be confirmed. I really don't know what to say, y'all. I mean, I feel like until we fight back and do to theirs what they do to ours, we're never going to get any justice. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. I mean, this is absolutely insane. And then I'm hearing news circulating around as well that one of the white boys' moms is a judge. So we already know that just being white typically doesn't get, these people any consequences. You add on the fact that his mom is a judge, like, let's be for real. They're not going to face any type of judiciary consequences. And I hate that. I feel so broken right now, and I hate this for this little boy's family. I know that his parents, his grandparents, everybody around him is tore up about this. Again, I hate this country. I hate the fact that a lot of white people, not all white people, but I hate that you have so many white people that make the masses of them look so bad and so hateful. I mean, really. Now, I'm not saying that they went down there with the intention of killing this baby boy. But what I am saying is,
I'm saying down there they went with the intentions. There
was an argument, which I'm also seeing circulate around the internet. If something went wrong with one of the friends, then why didn't the other friends jump in? And had that been the same case if Nolan was white, where he would have just been able to be killed off and nobody would have interfered? I just don't think so. Call me crazy, but I just don't think so. But this story, again, really, really breaks my heart, and it pisses me off. And y'all, I understand we like to march as black people. I don't advocate for violence whatsoever. At the same time, what I am saying is, when is enough going to be enough? Right. When are we really going to rise up and do something about the injustice that's been done to our black boys and girls? They're literally picking our babies off, and I am tired of this.
It's not only black people that's tired of it. My boy Secret
Service Sam here, and I want to let everybody know about Nolan Xavier Wells, that we need to help the family out. If you can, I know times are hard, please take a minute and donate to their GoFundMe. It's the one that was started by Aaliyah Dennis. It's a friend of the family. I checked with Christine, the mother, and she confirmed for me that her account has not been hacked on Instagram and that this is in fact the correct GoFundMe page. You can see it right here. I will also put the link in the video. I mean, there's so many GoFundMes around the world. I know it's hard to donate to everything, but I just think it's important right now that we help this family heal and we help them take care of any expenses that they might incur. As you can see, I donated here myself. I'm putting my money where my mouth is and my activism, and I wouldn't ask you to do something that I wouldn't do for myself. I hope you guys hug your loved ones, keep everybody close, and let's not quit fighting for injustices, because it seems like this is something that happens every single day, every single week, and it has been and it will continue. But if we raise enough awareness and we continue to work together, maybe we can heal some of this hate in this country and in our world.
You know, I find it interesting. As soon as I put somebody on, you know, on y'all's side that be spitting the truth to y'all, white guilt Sam. That's white guilt to you. Somebody speaking the truth is white guilt. You gotta catch the replay, shawty. Watch the side by side one, not the vertical one. Do that. Watch the side by side replay. Right, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, listen, man. Everybody's sick of it. It's not just Sam.
The way this country talks about black victims versus white victims is disgusting. Nolan Wells' body was found yesterday off the coast of Mississippi. If you didn't know, he was presumed missing and dead on July 4th. It is America's 250th birthday, and we're still dealing with this bullshit. He was celebrating with his friends for the 4th of July, and there's now circulating video that is going very viral of what looks to be him and his friends that he went with on the beach, and there's an argument. There's yelling happening. In the video, he looks to be very calmly standing still looking at his buddies. And somehow, the conversation is about his behavior. Why wasn't he on the boat? Was he drinking? Was he going from one boat to another? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. It's kind of morbid, so stick with me and trigger warning. If I show up dead, washed on a beach, my community of people where I was born are not going to go, well, how was Jake acting? Did he stay where he was supposed to? Did he start an argument with people? No, it's going to go, what the fuck? We have someone that would kill people out here? Jake, I love that guy. He plays for the football team. I'm just putting myself in Nolan's shoes. Nolan plays for the team. He's friends with those people. And the conversation is about his behavior. Just so frustrating. Like, racism is still alive and well just in the dialogue. Just in the dialogue. As simple as that. I just want this country to do better. And I see a future where we just stop with this bullshit and start going like, man, this kid was killed. Like, his on the 4th of July, he is celebrating with everyone. And he can't even do that. We can do better. We gotta do better. Oh, and apparently one of the friends' moms is a local judge. And if you think that will work in Nolan's favor, you clearly don't know anything about the history of young black men in this country. This isn't gonna go anywhere. We have to speak up about it.
I applaud you, bro, for trying to do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? He trying to speak up. He really don't know what to say. He ain't trying to get ostracized by his said community. He don't want to go too black. He don't want to go into N-word lover territory. He ain't trying to go there. So he's skippity doo-dying around it. Whatever. All right. I hear you, bro. But I'm telling y'all, if the sentiments...
Giving a tragic update on an 18-year-old that was down there missing in Mississippi. Body found on Horns Island confirmed as 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Mother speaks out. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. Now, for those of you who don't know what's going on, or if this is your first time ever hearing about this case, Nolan was an 18-year-old. He went on like a boating trip to an island with safe space, which could be the furthest from the truth because his friends that he's with right now, they acting like they don't even know what happened to him. They acting like they didn't see anything. They just acting like he just went missing. Nolan was 18 years old, bro. Grown men just don't go missing. Not saying that he's a grown man in this situation, but I'm just saying, like, period. So as of right now, man, the parents of Nolan are looking for answers as to if foul play could have been involved. Because 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what happened. To my brothers and sisters out there, man, y'all got to be aware of the company you keep. That's because they might seem cool, invite you out, bro. That shit don't mean nothing. They could be wearing a mask. You can actually tell, like, this is some shit that was planned out. They didn't just randomly think of doing this one day. They planned this shit and they fucking executed. Shit, that'd be a crazy and wild situation, man. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments.
They planned. That's what I say. I say this is planned. I say it was planned. It was planned. It was planned. Premeditated. Premeditated. My man's right here. He has something to break down. Hold on real quick.
Chapter 69. Might even be chapter 70 at this point. First, I want to start out by saying rest in power, rest in peace to Nolan Wells, Nolan Xavier Wells, 18-year-old student athlete from Mississippi. Somebody's son, somebody's teammate, somebody's friend. Not sure if he had siblings or not. But he was found dead off the coast of Horn Island in Mississippi after being out on a boat with his friends for 4th of July weekend. They came back inland and he wasn't with them. And from what I'm hearing, they can't remember what happened to him. And I think it's important to note he was out with his 4 white friends, only black child. So I definitely want to say my condolences to his family, my condolences to his community, and rest in peace and power. Life cut way too short. Just graduated, student athlete, so on and so forth. But I want to have the conversation for chapter 70 around what are the conversations that we're having with our children around being in certain spaces. Because what I want to make sure I am also cautioning, this is not about saying you can't have friends outside of your community or race or neighborhood. This is more about the awareness of where you are, who you're with, what's the temperature like, what are the conversations like around you, and are we having those conversations? What I can say about being a black father is that watching some of these things on TV, watching some of these stories, hearing some of these stories, and honestly just being a black man, a black father, shit is exhausting. It's hurtful, it's insulting, and it's hard to stomach. And the conversation and the question around chapter 70 is, what is the conversation that we are having, need to have, or should be having with our children around who they hang out with, where they're going, communication. The kids have this thing where they have their phone on do not disturb and all of these things. What does that conversation look like today? And if you're already having the conversation consistently, please share in the comments.
I can tell you this: you don't supposed to you don't wait till something happens. A lot of parents be scared to have them preventative conversations. And I heard one of these people say that they don't want their children to have an unfavorable view of people in society. And man, you got to tell your kids what's real is what's real. Like, not telling what's real can mess around and get them unalive like your boy here. You know, maybe if somebody was spitting in his ear and telling him, like certain little this, that, and the others, he be all right. You right, Nick. We all we got. Straight up. But look, everybody ain't stupid. Everybody is nowhere near on the dumb.
They absolutely killed that boy.
Straight up.
We all know they did. And you see, the crazy thing is, even without bringing race into it yet, we know for a fact that kids become evil as fuck when they are jealous. You put all those teenagers on a secluded island or a secluded beach with no adult supervision, underage drinking, and girls, jealousy is inevitable. Fighting is inevitable. And then when they are caught fighting, they will look you dead in your face and say, I tripped. I fell. That's how quickly teenagers lie to adults' faces to cover up their own act. Now, to bring race into it, it's about an 80% chance that they're about to sweep this under the rug. One of those white boys' fathers is going to pay off the police and tell them to sweep this under the rug and call it an accident to protect all those white boys from going to prison. That's exactly what's about to happen. I give about an 80% chance. Because you know where else this looks familiar? Thelma Horsford, who mysteriously turned up dead surrounded by her white friends at a sleepover. Or Trey Reed, being found hung from a tree on a predominantly white college campus where he was conveniently found where none of the cameras would have saw him. And we're disgusted all the same. And we're supposed to celebrate this country, right? We're supposed to say that racism is over and to just get over racism, right? Oh, and just an FYI, if any of y'all are in my comment section victim blaming this kid, you're blocked.
Straight up. Listen, everybody, there's they can't leave. They can't listen. They can't. We can't leave. We built it. Who you talking about, Mandy? You talking about? Because I just seen you saying a bunch of slick stuff, Mandy. You talking about us leave? Is that what you talking about, Mandy? Is that what you talking about, Mandy? Is that what you're talking about, Mandy? Over there on that BS? I see you getting. I see you getting choked down though. I see you getting beat up. Who is that over there giving her the Miss SGT, Miss Sergeant 99, giving her the beesness? I see you over there, man, giving her the beeswax. I see that. Listen, man, this one is a heartfelt one. I almost didn't want to play it, but this is how the people feeling though. So that's what the P is for. The P is for the people. This is how the people feeling right now.
This has been heavily on my spirit since
Get it
yesterday.
off your chest, man. Go ahead.
The Nolan Wells that was found deceased,
right,
in Mississippi.
Right.
Brown folks, we have to stop letting our children hang out and go with Caucasian people. Not saying that all Caucasian people are bad, because there are some Caucasian people that are good, just like there are some brown people that are good. But this situation does not sit well with me, because this happens too often, a lot. This has happened more than once. Do y'all remember that story about the boy Marquise when he was on the river in Florida with some Caucasian, and there were a Caucasian family on a kayak, and they was passing by and saw the brown kid, and he was in distress, and they put him on their kayak and brought him to shore, and then it was marking up the brown kid and calling him names and different things. Those are not his friends. That could not be your friends. Then there were another incident about the brown lady who was at a sleepover with Caucasian people, and she was unalive the next day. And we call those our friends. Now we have this incident right here. Nolan, who is missing, wound up found dead, deceased, unalive. And his Caucasian friends, supposed to be his friends, do not know what happened to him. They deactivate their accounts. No rest in peace, no nothing. But his phone and his paraphernalia made it back to shore. But he did not make it back to shore. As a black mom with a black kid, this is does not sit right.
It should.
At all.
At all.
I feel for that mom. We brown people got to stop. We got to be vigilant. We got to stop letting our kids hang with them. Because they don't mean no good to us at all. And our kids could be so talented. But they found us as a threat. My heart is aching.
Right.
For that mom. Our black boys. The world is so cruel. So cruel. And I don't even know the little boy. But I feel for him because he's black. He's brown skin. And that mom.
Right.
So, I just came out here to say this. Be vigilant. And stop letting our kids hang with these Caucasian people. Especially when we don't know what is going on. And our brown kids, keep your phones on. Sometimes when we call y'all, it's not to activate y'all. It's just to find out where y'all at. I'm so hurt. I couldn't sleep thinking about that situation. So
I ain't gonna lie, man. That's why I got the Life 360 on my shorties, man. I got the Life 360. My daughter better not tell me she ain't got enough money to pay her phone bill or something. I'm paying it. Like them do be the lifelines. I feel her on that, man. I'm talking about I feel that to the core, man. I be tracking they little movements. I be all over my little daughter's heels though, for real. Like grown or not, I don't care. I need to know where you at, and I need to know what you're doing. Straight up. You ain't gotta tell me what you're doing, but as long as I can see your little dot moving on the map, and yeah, all right, I'm cool. I ain't mean to cut her wisdom off. I'm gonna go ahead and let her finish out, but man, I feel her on that.
I just came on here to say that. I'm so torn about it. So torn about it.
Right?
So torn about it. And don't take this wrong, because there are some good Caucasian people out there.
Of course.
Everyone's not bad. And there are some brown people that's not good either, too. But in this situation here, it just doesn't sit right with me. Something is fishy about the whole situation.
Fish sticks.
And I know sometimes our kids don't know how to swim. If we don't know how to swim, don't go on the water. Don't go on the water at all. Don't do it.
That's what I understand why black people don't know how to swim. I don't know if y'all knew, but back in the day when segregation happened, there was public pools in just about every city, a bunch of them. And, them folks decided that if they got to swim with the nigglets, then nobody's get to swim. And so they closed most of the public pools. Because I remember when I was a shorty, I went up. That's how I learned how to swim. I went up to the field house around like 5 blocks away from the crib at like 5 years old. And I didn't know how to swim. I jumped in, figured it out. Then I took the little swim test. They make you swim across the thing back and forth. And I did it, and I learned how to swim. But they don't got those. I know a lot of kids don't got them same opportunities. We had the Boys and Girls Club back in the day. Jerry Gamble's. We had the Boys and Girl Club back in the day. I learned how to swim at the Boys and Girls Club. The way I grew up, we had pools in pretty much every apartment complex we lived in. Right, so we always had like the little indoor pool or whatever. So I always went swimming. I've been swimming for a minute, like, you know what I mean. But I feel her on that, man. Like, get y'all kids a swimming. That's one thing. Swimming could save your life.
I know we want to hang out, we want to hang with friends and stuff like that, but certain places we just don't need to be involved in.
That's right.
So
my mama used to tell me, rest in peace. She used to say, you just can't go everywhere. Everywhere ain't for you.
I just came on here to say this because it's been heavily on my heart. I mean, heavily on my heart.
I feel you, sis.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
Yep.
And brown people, just be aware of your surroundings at all times. And talk.
For sure. I can't disagree with that message. You know what I'm saying? Man, I mean, even to the point, the sisters is really taking this one's pretty hard though. Heartfelt messages all across the board. All across the board.
Every person of the skin tone knows that they killed that boy. They know they killed that boy. The lawyers that their parents just hired know they killed that boy. And you might be thinking, why are you talking about this? Well, I'm a grief creator. I come online and I talk about grief. And to talk about grief, I have to acknowledge that Black people are always grieving. We are grieving the loss of the chance of opportunity from our youth. The first time I was called the N-word hard R into my face, I was in the 1st grade. And that little boy's parents had to write my mom a letter because he didn't know what he said, but I knew. Because before I started school, my mom said, if anyone ever calls you this word, you need to find a trusted adult because it's one of the worst things that someone could call you. Black children are grieving from their youth on. They're grieving the loss of opportunities that they will never have, the spaces that they could never belong in, the fact that they have to try so hard, the fact that they can be surrounded by people they think are their friends, and then they are the only person that doesn't make it back from the trip. You want to know why this is so heavy on my heart right now? This boy missing, and we know what happened to him. This boy shot in the back this time. This boy is my little brother. And he looks a lot like these boys. Every day I have fear in my soul, in my heart. And now I have a little brother and our mom is dead. And the world just gets eviler and eviler. And Black people, Black grief, it's generational. We are grieving our whole lives. The loss of our dignity, the loss of our humanity, the loss of just the freedom to exist without worry constantly every day. You cannot talk about grief and treat it that all people, their grief is the same. Because Black people, we're grieving before we even know what it is. We're in the negative before we even get a chance. And these boys no longer have a chance. I'm tired.
Damn. It's real out here, man. Let's talk to some of these young Black boys. Nobody be getting the perspective of the youth. We hear, what they talking about. Let's listen to some young Black boys. What you got to say, fam?
Ain't it, bro? The little Black kid Nolan was found dead after swimming with his friends. Like white people, what y'all gonna say to justify that shit? Cause when that white police shot that baby, even though it was accidental, we know it was accidental, but y'all come up with every excuse to justify that. Y'all, his mama shouldn't have been doing it. No. But my thing, what y'all gonna say to justify this shit though? You feel me? He didn't come back, but his cell phone did. And that's what I meant when I said in that video, man, it's time for us to start killing some of their kids, bro. Or doing something to some of them. Because we always doing shit to each other over little shit like rubber bands, penny candy. But we never do shit to the motherfucker that really hurt us. Sad part about this shit, the wrong white person to catch the bad end of the stick because of his people or her people. And whole time, they might be standing with us. We just don't know because of their skin color. For that boy's cell phone to come back and he ain't come back. Man, they got that boy's cell phone so they won't track his location and shit. Then I just posted a picture months ago. Telling motherfucker Mississippi ain't that racist. Mississippi ain't that racist when it come to white folks and black folks. And I be damn, look at this shit. Look what y'all do. And one of the little boys, mama's supposed to be a judge or something, they instantly lawyered up. What you getting a lawyer for if you ain't did shit wrong? They gonna cover this shit up just like they did to Kendrick Johnson when he died at school in the gym, man. They gonna do this, bro. When y'all gonna do something, black folk? When y'all gonna do something instead of marching for peace? No justice, no peace. That shit ain't gonna work. And being honest, bro, this shit starting like an initiation, bro. To kill a black man. This shit starting like an initiation for some white folk, bro. To kill a black man. And once again, bro, it ain't even all white folks, dawg. It's some good white folks out here, bro. Same way some good niggas out here, some good brothers out. It's some great white folks out here, bro. That ain't got that shit in their body. That's against what the shit that their people doing. It's some good white people out here, but we will be blind because of the color of their skin. The same way some are blind thinking we're bad people because of other motherfuckers that look like us. And they always say, bro, you can't be the only black person going out with these white folk, this and that. That I can agree and disagree. Because I used to go out with the white folks all the time by myself. You feel what I'm saying? I got a whole video on goddamn YouTube called White Folks. Still kicking around with the white folks. Yo, still kicking around with the white folks.
Damn, he got the little. Hold on, let me see. I don't want the little. I ain't trying to give him no little ad revenue. He trying to pump his little video, but I do want to let the young brother speak. Hold on, I want to let him get his rocks off, because we can't tell them how to feel or what to say, and you might not like what he got to say, but he's saying it.
Bruh, something need to be done about this shit. Like real shit, because there's nah, that don't make no sense. Same way with that woman went to that slumber party with them white women. She'd come up dead. Emmett Till, this motherfucker had a stuttering problem. He come up dead. Cause a white bitch lied on him. Ray and Claude, they got 40 years of labor out of Ray.
That nigga didn't say Ray and Claude. That nigga didn't say Ray and Claude, did he? Did the nigga reference life? That's my nigga right there. That's my guy right there. The nigga said Ray and Claude got 40 years. I gotta follow him. And he just got a like. Oh, yeah. Did he just say Ray and Claude, fam? He said Ray and Claude got 40 years. Hell no.
This motherfucker had a stuttering problem. He come up dead. Cause a white bitch lied on him. Ray and Claude, they got 40 years of labor out of Ray and Claude. Cracker lied on him. And once again.
Cuz it's tripping. That boy said Ray and Claude. What the hell? Sheesh. That was amazing. But you know, you can't fault the young brothers for how they feel and what they seeing and what they saying. Y'all can't do that, man. You can't do it. You guys kill each other every day. Man, shut up. So do y'all. A lot more than we do. Shut up. A lot more. At least we ain't going through and whacking the whole family. We ain't doing that, Raymond. We ain't getting the whole family out the box. So shut up. Anyway, you can't be judgmental on this young brother's perception of what's going on out here. It is real for the young black male out here. Look what they see. Look how they see how easily their life can dissolve. What? Come on now. Come on, man. You can't get down on Cuz for you can't I ain't finna get down on him for that. I feel him. Matter of fact, I'm glad he mad. I'm glad he upset. Cause that means that they gonna continue to do something about it. I am glad that they ain't passive. I'm glad he ain't making no excuses. I'm glad he ain't holding no punches. I respect that man. What you talking about? What are you talking about? And we gonna get reparations. Don't you worry. We gonna get it. Don't you worry. Why you talking reparations? Watch your mouth, boy. Anyway, I don't want to hold you, but I'm a mojo fojo scold you about being on code. You know, I'm coming back at 7:00. Me, TZ Von Savage. We're gonna do a late night joint. And I might have to splash one in the middle because I got some other stuff that I want to talk about. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all know about all the links in the descriptions. Y'all know about all the t-shirts and all that. If you don't know, I'm saying you can go get that. You mad because I'm foundational joint? You can go get that FBA, Foundational Black American joint. You dig what I'm saying? You can go get that. And this is at Say It With Your Chest, by the way. SayItWithYourChest.com. Say it with your moves. Say it with your grooves. Wear it if you ain't scared. You can go get that. We coming to Washington to get our check, Joan. You can get that. Cut the check for foundational Black Americans, Joan. You dig what I'm saying? If you really bold, you will get that I boycotted today t-shirt. And you would also go cop that Forget Them People t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Wear it if you ain't scared. Say it with your chest. Say it with your moves. Say it because you smooth. Say it because you don't need nobody to approve. You understand? And hold on real quick. Let me look you square in your optical retinas real quick. Here, let me push it over to the side. Yeah. I need you to do a couple things for you. You know how I roll. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes over here. The vibes. Subscribe for those. Like for the spike in the algorithm. If they got that hype that thing. Don't put the hype on there for your boy. Turn the hype up one time. You know what I'm talking about? I love the comments for all of y'all that say what needed to be said and for y'all to say dumbness. Come on back and say some dumb stuff on another day because we love it. And you solidify everything that I'm talking about with the shining examples that we see in the chat. The chat, you guys play an integral part in Black empowerment so that people don't think that I'm out here crazy. Sosis, what's up, man? Don't think that I'm crazy, right? But listen, me and TZ is coming back at 7 p.m. with a joint. I might sprinkle another one up in here real quick because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, y'all. So I might have to sprinkle one. What you talking about, my gap? Oh, shut up, fool. That makes me sexy, fam. That's my gap. You see that? Don't worry about that. You ain't got swag like that. You can't embrace yourself like that. That's why you got problems with yourself because you can't embrace yourself. So you got to pick out things in other people to make yourself feel good. Just be okay with you, fam. You is all right. You matter. You is smart. You's intelligent. You's a nice person. Say that. I try to be, you know what I'm saying? This one wasn't really so much about the thing. It was just about the sentiment of our people out here. We waking up. The messages is coherent around here. It's that telekinesis. We all speaking and thinking the same thing. You have a gap from saying so much racist crap while being the victim. Mandy, I like you. Mandy, I like you. We need more like you, Mandy. Come on back, Mandy. I look good to you, Mandy. Is that what it is, Mandy? Mandy, do I look good to you? You concentrating on my lips a lot, Mandy. It ain't just the gap, Mandy. Stop it, Mandy. I knew it. I like you too. Thanks, Mandy. See, that's what I'm saying. See, we could disagree, but we can still, Mandy. You like them. I know, Mandy. I know, Mandy. I know. I know, Mandy. It's all good though, babe. You know what I'm saying? Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the Doha for Shoha.